Hello friends, my name is Ashok Sijala. In this session, we learn the ADO.NET connected architecture. So let us start. First, I share my laptop screen, and here I fix the position of my screen. And here, Microsoft Visual Studio Express for Web Edition is open. Here, connectivity website folder is open, and I take new file in file menu. And here Visual C# web form file is there, and here I give name of file connected underscore student. So we take the student form. So before I can start, I just some history of ADO.NET. ADO.NET is there are two techniques, connect and disconnect. So in previously, like ODBC is there, open database connectivity. In that technique, driver specification, and they're very slow in previously, but now it is easy manner. We can also take open database connectivity in ADO.NET, that is known as provider. Then come in the DAO, data access object. That is a like first VB language is there, Visual Basic, that is work only connected architecture, and specific VB language Microsoft developed DO, data access object. Then come to picture in the RDO, remote data object, that is a client server system, and that is also VB specification and just connected architecture supported that time. And then come OLDB, that is universal, because other database not connect to ADO, RDO, so that is a limitation this, and that is solved by OLDB, object linking embedded database. So OLDB is a full form, and you can connect any backend tools to, but there is a provider required to the provider, like you can OLDB taking the at that time just only connected architecture. Then come to picture ADO, simple ADO, ActiveX data object, and that is also connected architecture, not support the disconnected architecture. So now coming to picture is a all previously technique, that is solution of ADO.NET, that all the connect and disconnect. So in my next coming lecture, I can comparison this, but now I can told how connected. So connected means your connection throughout of your application is a live. Like we can say that in C# window-based application, page load, that and that type your connection is on, then you can unload your window page, then that connection is closed. So you can open and close. So requiring connected, and connection is always live. So that answer is, that name itself is a connected architecture or connected platform, connected technique, so many words used. Okay, and there are three classes used in connected, like connection, command, and data reader. In command class, we can perform insert, update, delete, and data reader we can just fetch from database data from database table, and there is a directly use the server memory and directly perform the original database table to all operation, insert, update, delete, search, all operation. And single table and single user work in the connected is a faster to the comparison disconnected, but when user increase, that time performance is down because directly using the server memory, and heavy traffic is created. There is main issue in the connected architecture. So disconnected solve this because that is used in the client memory. So we can, my upcoming video lecture, I can see also disconnected architecture, and here I start the connected architecture, and our goal is fixed in two operation, insert and display. So let us start first. Here I fix our goal, and that is connected architecture. Okay, connected architecture. So I just spelling correction, ARCH, yes, here CHI, then T is there, TEC, yes, TECUTUI, yes, now is ready. So you cannot take the wrong spelling. Okay, now that is our add title of the page in head in HTML section. So fix our title connected architecture. Now in division tag, we can not waste our time to designing because our focus is the main coding part in connectivity. So my previous demo lecture, I take one student form 5 fields like roll number, name, gender, standard, and hobby. So I just copy their design, only design. We can code implement to this video also self to how it's apply the code. So I take only uh, first 5 row and taking the operation or button to ourselves in this file. So here I full screen and first I uh, here close these two panel and table tag. So according to you can close here in the last, so there is error because we have to just copy, and now I just close first table tag and then panel tag, so there is a sequence. Okay, now error is gone and look up our designing so we can idea how it's designed. So there is our designing. So here student information, that is a header heading of the panel, and then label tr and that td and that tr next td is a text box. So one tr taking two td, that is a label, and we can say that heading information of student and that is appropriate control. So that is all sequence same like name, text box, gender, two radio button in same td, and then standard. Okay, and here some spelling is correct, so here okay we can go and directly correct the spelling. Okay, remaining the d. Okay, just save. So now our take the button in the next row and hide. Here we take the tr, okay, and then td. Okay, and that one td we can take two buttons, so I call span use, and here I start the ASP button first for insert, then ID. Here take the ID like BT insert, or you can say that save. Okay, then run it server side. Then text is also insert. Okay, and then some formatting apply like font bold, that is true, by default is false, and then font size we have to provide. And now go forward. Okay, looking for better. Okay, take the large, so many possible values there, and then we have to take like 4 colors, so that is also, and at the dark select and at blue. Just close and taking the, I just copy and paste to second our button, and that is a display operation. So in this session I can take two operation, insert and display, and next upcoming my video lecture I complete all the like edit, delete, search, all these operation. Okay, so here I just give the like display, and then we have to take no other change. Okay, so let us check our next row is how it's come. So okay, here some space is required, so there is size is begin, so we cannot taking directly here. I just select and try. Yes, now it is working. So yes, okay, you can also take the NBSP to take the provide the space in between these two buttons. Okay, so I just, okay, now it's ready. Okay, so in this session we learn the insert and display two operation in connected architecture. That is our fixed goal, and I just save and I minimize this Microsoft Visual Studio, because we can take table for that we can connectivity. So in my start menu I just open Microsoft Access. We can take the backend tool any like Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL. Okay, but in this session I cover the Access Office. Okay, so here blank database. Okay, I just click and here one button symbol is there, and then you can store in folder. So here folder is a like E drive, then ASP 2020, and here two database is there. So here create the like temp DB or test DB is there. So temp DB you can give any name. So okay, and just okay, and create button is there. So just created, and here take the designing directly. So here I go in create, but there is 2013 office, so there is some change in the design. So I close first this table. Okay, now you can this table I just close here. So there is a auto generate ID is there, so I can go in design part and take roll number, then number, their data type, S name. You cannot give the directly name because there is ID, so that is not provided. Like we can take here directly name in the error. Is a reserve keyword, so you cannot give the your field name. So like rules of variable you can apply in field of the name. So S name is not any reserve word. So here short text is ready. In 2013 office there is two, short and long. In previously like 2003 and 7 like only text proper text data type is there. Here is data type. So all possible data type is there. So we can take short name, so that is sufficient. And then third field is gender, that is also sufficient. And here you can also provide the description of that, like roll number of student, that type of message you have to provide description of that field. And then fourth field is standard, that is sufficient. And last is hobby, there are three hobby. So in case is range is not sufficient, so we can take the long text. Okay, now our table is ready, and here I just provide in connected architecture there is no require the primary key set to your table, but in disconnected is a compulsory. So here not required, but we have to provide, so no duplicate roll number is, and so just right click, and now roll number is provide and close, save yes. So here I give the stud info table name. So you can give any like student, but student is our form. So we can stud info taking the information of student. And now I minimize this Access Office and open again our Microsoft Visual Studio, and how to take connection string. So we can just go, I close first this file and go in code behind file and double click in insert button. So our code behind file is open, and here we start our coding. So here take using keyword and provide the namespace here, tooltip namespace. Okay, in Java that is called the package. So here namespace and data there is a, and in disconnected data, and then you can provide in here is not required because data set table is the in data package or namespace is called. Here directly we can that type of provider, that is known as provider class of bunch. So here like OLDB, so OleDbConnection command data reader all appear. ODBC, OLDB, that is a two universal open database connectivity and object linking embedded database. And like here SQL clients, that is specific for SQL Server 2012 or any edition. And then Oracle provider is not appear in this list. We can add reference that then and then that is appear in this list. Okay, now we can take OLDB. Okay, now we can create here OLDB connection variable CN, then OLDB command, that is just reference, and we can provide the memory allocation of that variable. Okay, then data reader, data adapter is disconnected class. So here data reader and DR. So when we cannot provide the taking the new operator, that time this variable or known as a reference. Okay, and now here I use object now, and that is cn is now object because we provide the memory location, and here I provide as a prefix @ sign. That is the syntax. You can, there are two technique. You take the like or, I here I like as a board like or operator. So you can just or and double slash you have to provide. So either you can use the @ sign or all double slash in your connection string path. So here we can use the @ sign, otherwise it is taking the error. So now we can start how to take the connection string. So here in menu, there is a tool menu and there is a connect to database. There is option. So I just click and one window is open, add connection, and here data explorer is open. Okay, and here Microsoft Access Database OLDB, that is a default. If you work in SQL Server, that time change the data source like Microsoft SQL Server or Microsoft SQL Server database file or Oracle database. Okay, so here we cannot check like we can use the SQL Server. There is two here. His name is a data provider. So here SQL Server is provider, and you can take the Oracle. So that here I shift, and then Oracle OLDB provider is there. So access is also OLDB. OLDB is a universal, take to any database. And if you SQL Server, then here two OLDB and SQL Server provider. There is two provider by default. We have to take SQL Server itself is a that separate SQL client bunch is their class. Okay, so now in this demo, I just access database, and there is now browse our database. Here is a button and just click. So here our temp, you can use any previously, but I just created temp DB. So can open. In the one error because file in use. So there is an important point. Enter a new name or close the file, open in another program. So our Microsoft Access is accessing this recently we have to create. So I just close then, and then we can take the connection string. Okay, I again select, already selected. So I just click, and here I click in symbol, then open. There is no giving the error because we have to already close. Okay, so there is also important point. Whenever you can use your table in Access, there is giving the error taking the connection string path. Okay, now here our path is appear, that is known as path, file path, database file name, e/asp.NET 20 and temp db access. There is in previous office MSDB, that is Microsoft data. Here extension is changed, that dot and then is known as extension of the file. So here user admin and no password. So I just save as some extra parameter like test. Here button is test, action succeed, and now go in advanced button. So our path, one extra parameter I just show you here, persistent security, that is true. That is, we can check box is on, so that is true. By taking this path, and you can also not take this checkbox and take the connection string. There is no any error, but we have to take. Okay, I just okay. We can copy Control C, and now we can paste to our path in our coding. And here, so there are two ways. Here you can provide either double slash or prefix as a @ sign. So not taking any error. Okay, and then just cn.open your connection. So here I open my connection. Now our coding part is now start, and that is a first we take the insert operation, and that we have used command cmd, command of object. We provide memory allocation, and in constructor we have to pass two arguments, first our query and then cn. Look at the syntax in here tooltip. String cmd text means query, and OleDbConnection, then our object known as cn connection. So here two parameterized constructor call. So here in first double quotes, I provide the query insert into, then table name, stood info. Like Oracle, you have to know very well how to query. Then that is very easy in ASP.NET with C#, connected architecture, also in disconnected. So insert into stood info, that is our table name and values, and then taking parentheses, opening and closing both at the same time. Otherwise, you have to by mistake not give, then taking the error of syntax error. Okay, now the rules is there when the numeric or number field is there, there is you cannot provide the single quote. Double quote plus sign is work, and when the string field is there, then you can compulsory take the single quote, double quote plus sign. So there is a syntax rule. So I just our first field is a roll number, so I'm not taking single quote, double quote and plus sign both give the simultaneously start and end, so you cannot give any mistake. And then our first text box txtrno is there. So I just show you because we can taking in my previous video lecture, so that id I can remember, but I can show you in design part. Okay, so first text box is now coming into picture in insert query. Now give the second comma operator, and that is a string student name. So that is single quote, that is double quote, and then plus sign, and then txt name dot text. So second field is now coming into picture, but third field I can just show you in design part so you can idea. Okay, so here we can take the copy in my previous just designing. So here our first text box ID txtrno, second txt name is there, and then is a like gender, and there is two radio button, single radio button. There is group name we have to. You can also take the radio button list, so there is no require this group name, and their ID is a RBM for male and RB F for female. So radio button is an optional button. You can take only single value to at a time. Like checkbox, you can take multiple value. So radio button, you can take only single value. And then standard, and that is DDL drop down list box, and DCSM 1 to 6 is provided. You can take any choice for your list. And last is hobby. We taking the three CHK1, 2, and 3. There is a ID of that 3 checkbox, and that is hobby. You can take your choice hobby. Okay, so that is our design. So and button we can apply to it's ourselves in this video. Okay, so now go in for coding part, and we can take first these two radio button and checkbox value to apply the condition, because radio button is option. So we can take if condition, and RBM we can show you in design part ID, and then check is a property that is written in boolean, so we can directly provide in if condition. And now here first I give two string variable taking this value s1 and s2, just provide the blank, so not giving any error. Okay, s1 here I can use an rbm dot text properties there, just text of there, and else part we can otherwise give the second radio button text that is female, and then text. Okay, so our radio button value is now come in picture. Okay, now we can take the checkbox value also in s2 variable. So that first CHK1 is there, and that check property also, because radio button and similar to the checkbox property, just only group name is different in radio button. So now S2, that is CHK1 dot text, and provide one blank to separation our hobby, because there are 3 hobby, and checkbox is a multi, you can also select it. And I just copy, okay, and paste 2 times because there are 3 checkbox. So here I change the ID, and here I also 2, and here plus equal. Okay, so that is a compound assignment operator. That full form is s2 equal to s2, and then plus chk2 dot text. Okay, and here provide the third checkbox chk3, and after that no any checkbox, so I just remove this blank. Okay, now our work is finished taking to radio button and checkbox value. So now we go in our query, and here just provide the comma operator, single quote, then further double quote, and then plus sign and radio button S1 value now holding. Okay, so now our radio button in the query. Okay, and now again give comma operator, then single quote, double quote, and plus sign, and taking the standard drop down DDL, that is ID, we can see in the design. And there is two possibilities. You can provide the text also is giving the that value selected drop down item, and also possibility selected item and dot to string. So here we can use to string. You can also as simple text, there is no problem. And here last field, and that is hobbies, single quote, double quote, and plus sign, and S2, that is now holding our hobbies, so there is no any error. So we can take care to single quote, double quote, or plus sign, or comma is operator. So if you missing any single quote, double quote, or any comma operator, that time taking the syntax error of that query. Okay, any query, insert, update, delete, select. Okay. So here just complete our insert query, and now I take one answer, or you can result res or any variable, or like just x you have to also provide, there is no problem. But taking like answer, so we can give ns. Okay, and that is command class, that is execute none query, that is, and that return type is integer, so we can give the handler as a ans is a handler taking this value. So when our query is successfully, that is returning positive value, otherwise it is giving the negative value. So execute none query in command class using insert, update, and delete. Okay, so insert, update, delete, and select all queries. So execute none query method used for insert, update, delete, and select query you can use execute reader. So there is a distinct, because that execute reader is giving the data reader. We can also in read operation using this method, but in this require execute none query, insert, update, and delete operation. There is possible query this method we can use. Okay, now if condition is ans is greater than 0, then response dot write, and just give insert record successful. So here s is remaining. Okay, and else part we can give response dot write, and you can also write the insert record in student table successfully. That type of message is there only. And error in insert record. So there is a complete our code, and we can also if close the connection. Okay, so there is also we can take. Okay, now our insert is ready. We can take the perform this code. So how it insert in our database. So let us check. Okay, so remove the blank page to extra in our code. Just one blank page is required to understand the code. So I just separation. Okay, so here our checkbox and the radio button and checkbox holding, and then our main query, and then just for validation you can say that confirmation your insert record successfully or not. Okay, just save, and now run our web page. Okay, so there is a running, and here our file name connected under student aspx file is there running. Okay, some time is taking. Yes, now appear our output and give the first roll number 1, name Ram, male, and BCS6, and taking hobby to all selected, and just insert. So here message is giving and after inserting that record is clear, so that is we can take user defined method insert record successfully. Okay. I just close this browser and go in our access database table. So again open, but there is we have to close because giving the error in taking the connection stream. So here access, and now access is open. Here our temp DB is there. DB is there, and now our table Stud.info, and I just double click, and our record is now in table. So here taking, I just increase the width. Okay, so here, okay, so there is our table. Okay, I just minimize and open this, and yes, here is remaining plus equal, so there is not coming all hobbies. Okay, so here there is 2 plus equal, that is remaining here, so there is a only giving one hobby in the last playing chess. Okay, so we can check also. Okay, now our coding is ready. We can take in the second time running, but we can take the first display coding, so then we can check. Okay, so and also the clear method we can apply. Okay, so I just double click, and first I use the here and clear method. We have to public user defined method clear, there is we can design in ourselves, that is known as user defined. And here take all text box like txt and text and just blank, and txt name and text and then blank. Okay, and our now is a radio button is there. So here if condition is required like rbm.check, then we provide the rbm.check equal to false, so that is a unchecked. And if else rb female dot check, then that false value. Okay, that is clear method. And then standard, so there is also possibility, and that's id ddl, and that also text is there, so just blank, there is no any other required. And last is a checkbox, so we can also use if condition like chk. Okay, chk one dot check, and then just chk dot check, same as the radio button false. Okay, and semicolon. I just copy because there is 3 checkboxes there, and change the appropriate that id like 2, here is 2, here is 3, and here is 3. Okay, now ready or clear. I just call this method after the insert. Now appear in library, yes, clear is there, so I just close. Okay, and clear taking the method after close the connection. Okay, now our display coding is start, and we can take directly command object and take the new, and then here we can take the select star from student info, there is our query, and pass the connection. So I cannot repeat, there is 2 argument in command constructor. First is query and second is a connection. So look at in the tooltip. Okay, so we can just in provide the insert operation. Okay, now we can take the handler dr and command dot execute reader. I can previously told you here OleDbDataReader is written, so we can take directly execute reader. Okay, and now we can first if condition, there is one method DataReader has row. If taking any row, then is taking, otherwise user directly not insert record and take the display button, there is no any record, so we can provide one type of validation. And has row provide the boolean value, so we can take directly in the if condition. Okay, and now we can take the while, and there are data read. Read is a method that is also return the boolean value, and parenthesis because that is a method, and we can print in label text or directly on the page response.write. There is two possibility. So we can directly in page, you can also take the label text. Okay, and here we provide the heading of our table of the students, like first is a roll number is there, then some phrase, then name is there, then gender, then some phrase standard. Okay, and then last is hobbies. Okay. And then we take here, there is one message is successful, so just provide the BR, because when we can insert that time insert record successfully, so after our heading is there. Okay, now here also provide the BR tag, and now our printing will start, and there is BR 0. So here we can pass the index. Okay, so there is we can chance to provide the index. And okay, and you can also if remember here our data explorer is there, and I just here move, and here green sign temp data is plugging, and our table and student info, and they're all field you have to not remember. We can also provide here like taking the index, you can double quote like RM. So there is two, when you can take the column name in take the in double quote, and you can take the index, there is no requiring double quotes, and just provide the index 0 1 2. Index start always in the 0. Okay, now I first take here 0 and dot toString is there, then plus and provide one blank, and then plus, and second field I take the that field name s name. Okay, so s name is there here, you can see here s name is there in database. So I just above, so you can look better, and also forward. So here double quote over bracket over, then toString is there. Okay, then we provide one blank space separation, then dr. Now our index is going to 0 1 and 2 is there, so we can taking now index. You can provide index or either in the table name, there is no any error. Now I in fourth field, and that is I take the table field column name, and that is a like a standard, we can reach standard by just double quote and parenthesis, and last our field first provide the blank, and then dr, and that is our fifth, so index start with 0 fourth index. Also you can provide the field name like hobby HOB in place of 4 index. Okay, so that is finished, and after here I first close the dr, and then close the connection. Okay, connection we have to already close, so we can also take the connection, because otherwise giving the error. So here our connection, and I just copy these two line. If you here in insert button, I here close. If you not here apply close, then you cannot open is. You can check both. Here I just first comment line, and I close in the display button. Okay, so let us check how it's work or not. Okay, so we cannot see in the database directly our record our table record is appear to here. So here I take the second record and just email. Okay, here also check to yes, that is group name provide, and here fifth SAM, here I take all hobbies and just insert. Okay, and now the all are clear, because we can call the clear method, that logic is applied. So all radio button, checkbox, text box, all are clear, and just press the display button. So our two record is now displaying the above our design. If you take in below the design, then take the label text, or also you can take the TRTD in that sequence. Okay, so there is possibility. Okay, so now we can, there is no error, so I just comment line in connection close, so we cannot again open here. If you take here close, then you can open here again. Okay, so there is possibility. Okay, there is a first technique we have to complete. Also, there is a second technique, display and insert. There is a two way we can insert and display in the connected architecture. So let us take our third button, and after display, I first take this button to some near of this button. Okay, and now I go here and I just increase this size. In between we take new button and provide some space, and now our toolbox is there here, and I just double click in button, so our button is now appear. And also I go in design. Okay, and I just here write bt, we can take the now word is a save, and here text is second insert, or you can other way insert. There is second technique you can insert in connected architecture, and I just copy all this formatting here we can use, so up to here not. Okay, so there is a just copy like font bold, font size, and 4 colors. Okay, and just save. Now we can go in that design, so our button. Okay, here, so I just, okay, so second insert, or you can say that another insert, or just save button. Okay, so I just double click now, that button open, and we can take like this above code. I just not revise all the things, I just copy this radio button and insert query, and all code I copy. Okay, now I just copy and paste. Okay, here, so what is different, so that rest of thing is same. Here I can change in the insert query, and here I just remove all the things. Here you can see here, that is second way we have to insert. So here we provide the @ sign and our original table column name like RNO. Okay, so just in not require the, okay, and here, okay, then I just close this parenthesis and double quotes. Okay, now ready, and then comma @ sign in like J2EE prepare statement. You can question mark is there. Here @ sign is a syntax. So S name, then our third is a GEN, that is give the column name. I can see you. I just here open in Data Explorer and standard, and then last field is a HOB. So how its value is coming, that is main question. Remaining all the thing is same, like here is same, here up to we take the checkbox and radio button value is same. Here just query is changed. Okay, and execute non-query you can also use, there is not possibility, and I can show you that our, yes, here I fix this position. So here look, our roll number, S name, gender, standard, and hobby. So all original field we can with the prefix is @ sign, that is part of the syntax. I just full screen. Okay, and I close this side behind this window, so looking for better. So how its value is coming into picture. So here in command class there is one member is a parameter member and property, and that is also class, and that one hold method, and that is named @WithValue. That is very important. So there is second way, and just here take RNO second time, so that giving this value to here this method @WithValue, and now just comma, and here two parameters. The @WithValue is two parameter. First string parameter name and object name. So here our object name txt like RN, and then text. Okay, I just copy and paste to our required time. So here I just change txt nm dot text. over, and here hobby is there, so just S1 radio button is there. I just change here also. Okay, here first S name to appropriate, and here gender GN, and then is holding value S1. We can take already this previous code, and here also copy. And now our fourth field, that is a standard. So that is here I can use now DDL and then text directly, not selected item dot to string. We can insert previously use that. Here I just text use. And last field is a H hobbies. So also you can good choice S2. Second way, inserting the connected architecture, how it's insert. So just this is change, that portion is changed. We can compare previously our insert coding and that coding. So that coding I just copy. So here we can provide single quote, double quote. If you any getting error and difficulty that remembering single quote, double quote, and that value. So here very easy facility. So there is second chance if you not taking that risk syntax error. So here just simple that change, that code is remaining as same and that code is remaining same. Okay, so that both message are same. So I just here second insert record successfully. Second is second way we can say that. So you can idea. Okay, just different message in previous insert, and then that button is also different. And also we can print in the display button, but we can also take the grid view directly display. So now also I take the grid view in after the table. That is last point on this session. So I just close this standard, and here our data tool is there, second category of tools, and there is a like first I can revise data list view and detail view, form view, grid view, list view, and repeater. There 6 is a tabular control in ASP.NET. In my upcoming lecture I cover all step by step in ADO.NET connectivity. And here we can use grid view just. Okay, so let us, and I cannot change that ID, just remaining as it is. You can also chance, or you can give the like GB, that type of short. Okay, so if you taking not so long ID, remember just I short TV grid view short. Okay, and also grid view one remaining, and you have to work also, no problem. So here how we can take second user defined method. Our clear method is there, and I just below this method I take 4 line only coding, and that is fill grid. I give the name fill grid. Our grid is fill, and that is grid view control. And just copy, no any I display, that is 2 line. Okay, I just copy this 2 line and paste to here. So there is only 2 line is remaining. That is I just copy, because select star from is required to here, and data reader is a, and execute reader is the same, because we can perform the display operation, but our control is remaining difference, and that is in first technique we print the directly on the page. Now we can print on the grid view. So first we can use data source and then provide DR, and then GB grid view and data bind. So all list, all record of the database is now coming to the grid view, and then also DR we have to close. So there is one possibility. Okay, now let us our second way display and second way insert. There is a, here I can just summarize. Here this is a new code, insert into table name values, and J2W you can give the prepare statement, there is question sign, and here at the rate and column name, there is syntax, and then parameter is a main class of the command class, and that also method like clear, remove, all so many method is there, add is there. So you can just here I just and then add range, add with value is there, clear is there, content, copy, count is member is there, equal is there. So all the remove, add, all this method is there. Okay, now I can save and last run to check to our second way insert. Okay, now our coding is appear, and here I give the 3 because we have to primary key assign, and taking the last one and mail and semester 4 just, and check all hobbies selected, and second insert I can click, or second way or second technique, whatever word you can, text is a button. So here second way insert successfully, that is I can change the message. Okay, and just display, but our grid view is not display, and grid also not display, but I cannot call this method, and I can also refer this in grid view we can take, but here runtime grid view is not display. When grid attach any record from database side, then and then grid is appear in runtime, otherwise it not in picture, like hidden field is a non-visual control. So that time that grid view is a non-visually. We cannot bind up that time. We can bind record that is appear here. So let us take. We can perform the coding, but remaining the calling. So we can call first in page load fill grid method we have to prepare, but I can just show you in design part. I can just revise because there is so very important point here. Grid view is display, but when we can run that page and we cannot call fill grid, so our grid is not display. So that is important, like a bullet list. Bullet list you can bind that time is a display, otherwise it not display at a runtime. At a you can, like calendar and my previous demo lecture, you can see I can dates of calendar bind with bullet list, but when we can run that time bullet list is not appear, but you can select the date and then submit your date. So that is appear on the picture. So that is same here in grid view. So that is grid view is a tabular control. Now I can call in all 2 buttons, and here also in now in libraries appear our user defined fill grid. Okay, and also our clear method is in library here. So both method is now in library. I just page load even call, and also call in our 2 button here after clear fill grid, and after the second button here, that is also display code, so there is no required, and here is required. And also in next coming of update and delete search, we can take this grid fill grid method. So I just save. Now I just run, save and run, and let us check. Now grid is appear in the picture, so that is display now. Yes, look up here and provide some page, because that is a binding like a table, and our original field is a header of the column, like here RNO S name. So that is, and now I can take 4th record and Bharat, and then mail and semester I think 5, no problem, and just check all 3 buttons, and I second way use this button. Okay, now that is appear here. Okay, and also your second way insert record. So there is a, and I just took some blank or separation in the grid view and our HTML table tag. So here we provide some BR tag. So there is only takes 2, or okay, no problem. So let us check last time. Okay, so now some gap is there. Yes, so you can, and I take last as Hanuman is remaining in Ramayana. All is well. Okay, so here, okay, so I think same as was friend of Ram. So BCSM6 is there, I think. Okay, that is just fun. Okay, and I use again third time second insert, and now Hanuman is appear into picture, and both Ram and Hanuman is BCSM6 is there. And also I display that is on the page, that is all the record is display. So in this session I can use the two technique in page and grid you can display, and two button insert, there are two techniques. So I think you can enjoy this session, very helpful to connected architecture. Okay, and also I check in database, okay, access database directly. So that is previously open, I just close, then all record is happy. Is giving yes, save is yes, because we can increase the height, width of column. So I just double click, now all record is appear. So there is a, and just I also increase this column width. Okay, so our all hobbies display. Okay. I think is now good. Okay, so I hope you can understand and how it's connected architecture. Insert and display, there are two techniques. So in display into GridView and on direct on the page, and I and designing is a very easy part in ASP.NET. If you just like HTML, okay, here TRTD is used. So I just important thing revise that is only designing. I just double click on. So that is we can take radio button and checkbox value and then perform the insert operation, single quote, double quote. Okay, and there is string field and numeric field. You cannot apply the single quote. That is the rules. Okay, there is all queries and execute none query, insert, update, delete, and okay, and that is just validation because execute none query return the integer variable. Okay, I not revise all the thing, main important part. And display, there is execute reader, that is return the data reader object, and here use one property that is return boolean if row is there. If you directly take the display button first and insert before you can press the display button, that is not print any record because that is validation. So record is there then, and then your record is displayed on the page, so that is validation. So here like 1D array dr object index you have to supply, and also a possibility you can double quote give the column name, so we can print all the our column. Okay. And now second way we have to insert just query @ to directly single quote if you any difficulty or syntax error is there. So parameter member of the command class and add with value, first argument take original table @ and then your appropriate control ID. Okay, and execute, that is all are same. And we can also perform two user defined method, and that is clear, so very easy. I not revise all these things. uh, Checkbox is check and then false checks, that is same in if, and that same in checkbox radio button all. Okay, and field grid method we have to select star from student and connection pass and execute, there two statement is same in display. And data source, that we have to bind the dr, and data bind, that is supply the list, and that is a bind method. So one property and one method, and then dr close. Okay, and up we have to take the connection. I think not we have to revise, just main point is if you provide here double slash, either you can provide in @ prefix in prefix in before the double quotes. Okay, if you provide like here, so there is not possibility, so here you have to provide. Okay, so I think here I just mm, comment line, that is a technique connected. Okay, so connected architecture, and I just correct the spelling if any. Okay, so there is any mistake is there? No, just right spelling. Okay, so I hope you can enjoy, and there is all code of here. So I think you can understand very well. And here our design is there. Okay, so subscribe my channel Ashok Sijala Academy, press the bell icon. I complete my this session, connected architecture, two-way insert and two-way display. And my upcoming video lecture, I complete this code like update, delete, search, all operation. And then disconnected we have to take in the picture. Okay, so subscribe my channel Ashok Sijala, press the bell icon to never miss any update, and thanks for your watching, supporting, sharing, and Hare Krishna.